Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is Selina. So welcome back to one of my crochet videos. So if you're new here, my name's Selina and I release a crochet video once a week for a tutorial. Sometimes I release a bonus video too. So today I'm going to bring to you a super easy project. It's very beginner friendly, it's super fun and super easy. Last week I released a crochet video on how to crochet cotton scrunchies, so I'll link that here at the top of the screen if you want to check it out. It's with like a really feminine design with ruffles and so on. And this week I thought I would bring you this version. So this is version 2 of a scrunchie. It's really easy to make. So for this project I used Feels Like Butter by Lion Brand yarns, and it's a really lovely yarn because I think it's 100% polyester, but it does have that really like squishy, almost chenille texture to it, so really good for a scrunchie, and it'll be really soft on your hair. And I used the shade Dusky Pink for this one, and I'm going to show you how to make a one in the shade White. And I will be using a 4mm crochet hook. You will also be needing a tapestry needle, a pair of scissors, and an 8-inch long elastic. So this is just a basic elastic, and a safety pin just to work it into our project afterwards. And I will be using US terms. So for this scrunchie we are going to be making a long strip of half double crochets, and you want this strip to roughly measure 22 inches long and about 3.5 inches here. I will be linking everything in the description box, all the materials that I used and all the details in the description box, so head over there. Also, the free pattern is up on my blog selinaveronique.com, and you can download it for free, so just head over there. I will be linking everything about my blog in the description box. So to begin, you are simply going to make a slip knot. So just go ahead and make a slip knot. Pop your 4mm crochet through, tighten gently, and now we are simply going to be chaining 17. So just go ahead and chain 17. 1, 2, 3. So I've chained my 17 chains, and what we are going to be doing is placing a half double crochet into the third chain from the hook. So just count 1, 2 and 3. So this is my third chain from the hook. I'm simply going to wrap my yarn around the hook, go into that chain space, take my yarn, pull it through, and I'm going to have 3 loops on my hook. Take my yarn and pull through 3 loops, and there you go, you've got a half double crochet, and this first chain 2 counts as a half double crochet also. So now we are simply going to be placing another half double crochet into the next chain space. So just go ahead and proceed on placing a half double crochet into that, and into the next space just go ahead and place a half double crochet into that. And we are simply going to be placing a half double crochet into every chain until the end of this row. So I'm just simply going to let you get on with that, and I'll meet you back to show you row 2. So there we go, I've placed my row of half double crochets here, and what I'm going to do now is show you row 2. So for row 2 you are simply going to be chaining 2. So 1, 2, turn your work, and you are, so this counts as a half double crochet, and it counts as your first stitch. So this is your first stitch and this is the half double crochet. So now we're going to go on to the second stitch here. This is the second stitch, and we're going to place a half double crochet into that stitch right here. So just go ahead and place your half double crochet into that, and this is what it's going to look like. We are going to place a half double crochet in the next, half double crochet from the previous row, and into the next, and into the next. And we are simply going to be doing that until the end of the row, and I'll just meet you back at the end of this row to show you how to finish it. So I'm back and I'm just going to show you how to finish off this row. So we've got 2 stitches left to complete. So we've got 1 actual half double crochet from the previous row, so just pop a half double crochet into that stitch. And we also have right here the chain 2 from the previous row, into which we are going to be placing a half double crochet. So I'm just pointing this out because you don't want to forget that stitch. So just go ahead and place a half double crochet into this, and this is what it's going to look like. So don't forget to always remember to place a half double crochet inside that last chain 2, and just count your stitches. If you're in doubt about how many stitches you need, just count them from the previous row and make sure you've got the same amount in the next row. It's a really easy trick to know where you're at in a pattern. So now for row 3, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, turn our work, and you'll have guessed that we are simply going to be repeating row 2 for the remainder of this pattern. So you are simply going to, this counts as your first half double crochet, and you're going to go into that stitch right here, the second one. So locate that. Take your yarn and place a half double crochet into that, and a half double crochet into the next, and you're simply going to be placing half double crochets until the end of this row without forgetting the chain 2 from the previous row. And if you need more help, just rewind the video and look at row 2, because its pattern is simply going to repeat row 2, and you are simply going to be doing this for the next 60 rows. So for the next 60 rows you want to be doing row 2, and I'll get back to you once you've done that. So there we go, I finished my 60 rows of half double crochets, and I'm just going to show you what to do now. I've left quite a long tail, as you can see, to sew, because we're going to use this to sew all this together. So now I've popped my tapestry needle into that loose end. I folded my project in half just so that we can sew it all the way along to create our scrunchie. And I've left quite a long tail for sewing, and what we are going to be doing is sewing this in. So there we go. So the mattress stitch is basically, you're just going to take your needle and pop it through on the other side, pull your yarn through gently, and then you're just going to go directly into the other side. So you're just going to go from one side to the next, and this creates like less of a seam, if that makes any sense. However, we will be turning the project inside out once we've finished, so you can use any preferred method of sewing. So here we go, I've sewed my whole project from top to bottom, and this is what it looks like. So now I'm just simply gonna knot these 2 together. These are my 2 loose ends. I like to do this sometimes because it just gives it that extra security. So this is just like a personal preference if I've got loose ends. So I've tied those together, and now we are simply going to be turning this project inside out. So to turn it inside out, you're just going to take it from one side, and it's just quite easy. Just try as gently as you possibly can to scrunch it up, and then just turn it inside out gradually. So I'm just going to let you do that. So here we go. I've turned it inside out gently. And now what I'm going to be doing is placing the elastic inside the scrunchie. So I've just placed my safety pin at the top of this. And what we are going to be doing is just scrunching, again, this project like this. So just scrunch it up. So there we go. I've scrunched this up and I'm holding it with my hand like this. And you're simply going to take your elastic and pop it inside, and then you're just going to make sure that you've grabbed it on the other side like this. So once you've got both sides together, you are simply going to knot it. So this is how I'm knotting it. I'm going to do 2 knots at least. Make sure it's nice and secure like this. I'm going to pull on it. And now I'm simply going to take the this off. And now I've got my scrunchie looking a bit more like a scrunchie should. And what I'm going to do now is simply sew this together. So to sew my project, I've tied on my my yarn like I usually would with a double knot. I hope you can see. So to sew this scrunchie together, to finish it off, I've tied on my yarn, and I'm simply going to go back and forth like I did before with my tapestry method. So just go back and forth and sew this in. I've placed all my loose ends inside the project so that I don't need to sew them in later. It's just easier. So this is my little tip, and you are simply gonna go all the way around with this mattress stitch. I've just gone around all my scrunchie, and I'm just gonna secure it. So I'm just gonna pop my needle through another couple of times. So I'm just gonna tie a knot gently. To finish off my scrunchie, I'm simply going to pop my needle through the scrunchie like that and pull the yarn through. In this, I'm just going to pull it like that a bit and just snip off my loose end, and that's it. So there we go, we finished a gorgeous scrunchie. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments. I always answer my comments. And don't forget to subscribe for a crochet tutorial every week. And don't forget to let me know what type of crochet project you'd like. I love to know your opinion. And in the meantime, thank you for watching. Bye bye.